Our next speaker, I would like to invite Anjuman Ara Begum. She's an associate professor and head of department in charge, Apex Professional University in India. She is a coordinator at Royal Global University. Formerly, she was the associate professor and head of department in charge at Apex Professional University, where she leads the faculty of law and forensic sciences. She also served as a research fellow for a joint project between CRG Kolkata and IWM Vienna. Dr. Begum Anjuman Ara is also has extensive experience as the executive director of the Women Leadership Training Center, demonstrating her commitment to advancing women's leadership and legal education. And this is also one common thread that I would urge the participants of this conference to focus on, that while the constitutions of all our countries who are participating here in the and elsewhere, all the inequalities that Dr. Sonu mentioned, not just within our region but across the globe, none of the constitutions actually says that some of the citizens are lesser citizens than the others, and yet it is our society which stratifies it according to those lines. So the legal angle also needs some kind of shoring up of how we can ensure that some rights which are there enshrined in the constitution, they need to be safeguarded by certain mechanisms so they can be accessed by all the citizens of the country. Over to you, Dr. Anjuman Ara Begum.
Assalamu alaikum and namaste to everyone. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this program. I'm really happy to Sarin and other colleagues, and also the very enriching discussion that's been going on since morning. So thank you so much for including me. So today I will share some of my experience of working on violence against women. I am from Assam, and I have worked extensively to Northeast India. And I'm very happy that Sharmila has been included in this program as speakers. She has been an inspiration and icon for many of us from the region. So coming back to the topic that we are discussing here today, the violence against women, I would like to say that quote a point from, we have something called National Crime Records statistics, and if we see this report on 22. In the year 2022, there was that the data shows that there were 51 FIRs. FIRs means first information report to the police. So in every minute, every hour, there were 51 FIRs filed in India on cases of violence against women. So this speaks the level of violence in the society, in the country, and also, as we have discussed, the failure of the criminal justice system to respond to this kind of violences. And like the Constitution of India, which has a very elaborative right, says fundamental rights, which is for both men and women without any discrimination. We have very explicit Article 14 says that everybody is equal. But in reality, when you look down and you see that there is disparity, that women are really not equal as compared to men, or they are certain cultural and social legal factors are determining their equality and their rights. If you see the recently concluded election in India, if you see the 2 days ago, there were the ministers were taking oath, and you can see that out of 71 ministers, only there were 7 women are there, which is about 10% of women are being elected in the highest decision-making body in the country. And this is not only in case of the parliament. India is a federal country. We have state elections as well. And I would like to focus on the states in the Northeast India. And you see many of the Northeast Indian states, 75 years, then only women could make their place in a decision-making body. So this is not just because it was possible. It's been years of struggle by women's groups. And that is also another issue. Article 15 of Indian Constitution says the state will try to take special measures to remove discrimination about women and children. But still, we have cases which from Manipur who were brutally, gang raped, and their videos were circulated on the social media. And myself and some of us, we are also a petitioner on sexual violence cases during this ethnic conflict, and we have a petition going on in the Supreme Court of India, where several specific provisions regarding the protection of women were excluded. So filing of FIR, it's not only police taking cognizance, but even if police takes cognizance, we can see that there are certain provisions which are in favor of women has been excluded. So the fight is going on, and it's not that a one-day event that we will get into. And also the minorities, as we say in minority, we understand in India in different contexts, like it's not a homogeneous community. If you take Muslims, Muslim is also not a homogeneous community. We have many divisions, many cultural differences. There may be tribal Muslims, and Muslims from Assam may be completely very culturally and socially very different from the Muslims from Kerala. So that's kind of differences we have, and we really don't have a uniform law in various areas in the Muslims. Also, other communities, say tribals and all, majority of these communities are ruled by the customary laws and practices, and customary laws and practices are not written. And if the things are not written, there is manipulations, and it can go against the interest of women. Same thing goes with the regard to the property also. Women are denied property not only in law but also in practice. In Islam, or the whatever rights property is given, the women get some share in their ancestor property. It's not given to Hindu women for a long time. It's only after judicial intervention some years ago that women are entitled to the ancestor property also. And if we see the customary laws in the Northeast India for the different tribal indigenous groups, women are still not entitled to ancestral property. And world over, if we see the statistic, only 1% of women have their property in their name. So this shows the gravity of the issues, that how women are deprived not only in their entitlement but also financially and economically. And another issues that minority women very often face in India is also that the codification of law, justice to the Muslim women, because the act of the divorce or talaq, triple talaq, has been criminalized. And there are reports of the many cases where the women who are victim of triple talaq, and after 3 years, when the becomes very ambiguous whether she's a divorcee or she continues to be the wife of the person who has practiced this triple talaq. So the codification, just for the namesake, is not going to help women. There needs to be an involvement of the community also, and there is also needs a preparation. And also in India, since we have a written constitution and we claim that the largest democracy in the world, but why the same the criteria of the constitution and should not be applicable to all women and all the minority groups in India? Yeah, I was talking about that codification unwritten, and that means that very prone to get manipulated, and most of the decision makers are men. So very often women are denied of the justice in this system, and codification is required. Like 3 times and divorce his wife, Muslim man has to go for 3 years of imprisonment, and that has not been helpful for women to get justice. So with these points, I would like to conclude here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.